History may forget Thomas Ball Barratt, but heaven never did, before tongues were heard in Korea. Before revivals shook Brazil, a quiet man from Norway was already weeping for a fresh Pentecost. He was known as the Father of Pentecostalism in Europe, and one of the forgotten flames of the global spiritual revolution. Thomas Ball Barratt was born in 1862, in Cornwall, England, and raised in Norway. Barratt was a man of vision long before fire. He served as a respected Methodist pastor, leading Christian organizations and doing mission work in the name of tradition and truth. But something deep inside him was missing. By 1905, Barratt was no longer satisfied with religious duty. He was hungry for what the early church knew and experienced, for what the book of Acts declared, the Holy Spirit. That year, he traveled to New York City to raise funds for a mission building in Oslo, but in the providence of God, he didn't get the money but he got something far greater. While in New York, Barratt heard whispers of a spiritual outpouring erupting in Los Angeles. He read about Azusa Street, about speaking in tongues, about power falling from heaven, and something leapt in his soul. Barratt began to seek God with fasting and prayer in his small room at a mission house on 50th Street, and on October 7, 1906, the fire came. Alone, face to the floor, he was baptized in the Holy Spirit. He spoke in tongues. He wept. He laughed. He shook. He was done with ordinary religion forever, and the moment he stepped back onto Norwegian soil, he lit a match that would change Europe. Barratt began preaching about the baptism of the Holy Spirit, and revival broke out in Oslo. Crowds gathered. People fell under the power. Tongues. Healings. Conviction. Tears. Scandinavia that was cold and bound in tradition began to burn. From Norway to Sweden, then to Germany, France, and Britain, the fire spread. Barratt became a carrier of Pentecost to a continent in spiritual slumber. He influenced countless leaders like Louis Petrus in Sweden, Alexander Boddy in England, and his revival letters also inspired Smith Wigglesworth. What Parham and Seymour were to America, Barratt was to Europe, but he paid a price. He was rejected by the Methodist Church, accused of emotionalism. Labeled a fanatic, even his own family felt the heat of public scorn. Still, he preached. He held revival meetings in storefronts, homes, and rented halls. He wrote letters, trained leaders, and gave birth to the Pentecostal movement across Europe. He founded Philadelphia Church in Oslo, which became a base for missions and fire. From there, missionaries launched into the Soviet Union, India, Africa, and beyond. He wasn't chasing fame. He was simply a man who had seen the flame and wanted the world to burn with it. Thomas Ball Barratt died in 1940, during the shadow of war, but the revival he helped ignite could not be bombed or buried. Today, millions of Pentecostals in Europe and beyond trace their fire back to the quiet room where one man said, "Let me burn with the fire of Pentecost, no matter what it costs me." Barratt wasn't loud. He wasn't even the first, but he believed the Spirit of God could still fall in his days, and he gave his life to see it. The fire still falls. The world needs saviors, and you could be the one your community, province, state, nation, continent, or generation has been waiting for. This is put together by Zion Models, Revival Fire Legacies. Subscribe for more awakening stories.